Hello, everybody, and welcome to Moment of Presence. I am Michelle Barone of Moksha Grace Coaching, and thank you for giving yourself a moment of presence to be here and to take some time in the middle of your day, the middle of your week, to think about yourself and give yourself some time. So, great start. So, today's topic we're going to talk about is celebrating what makes you, you, what makes you special. And everybody has something. Everybody has a lot of somethings. And if you can't think of something, if you read today's topic and got uncomfortable, then this moment of presence is exactly for you. And if you know somebody who doesn't easily talk about themselves and what is great about them and needs constant reassurance, no shame, no blame, we've all been there at one point in our life. And if you know someone like that, get them on this call today, on this live. And if not, share it out to them. All right. So definitely like and subscribe so that way you get notifications when I do go live. And as I always say, I'm really glad that you're here. So let's dive into about today, the topic and why exactly we're even talking about this. So I had an interesting conversation with a client the other day, actually two clients in the last week and a half. And it was conversations about them. And that's why I wanted to bring this to everyone's attention, because we're all dealing with this. And we're so used to focusing on what isn't working, what's not right, not just out in the world, but within ourselves. And today we're going to focus on what is right. But first, we're going to have a quick check-in. And then we're going to do our breathing. But I want to do the check-in first, and you'll see why. So I want you to feel free to share in the comments. You don't have to put your name. It can be anonymous if you want, because sometimes it is anonymous. But I want you to answer first thing that comes to your mind. Again, if you want to share, you certainly don't have to. But definitely think about these answers to the questions I'm going to ask. So, all right. When you read today's topic, celebrating what makes you special, what did you feel? What came up for you? So like, yeah, cool. I like this. Was it not really? I don't have anything to share. What came up for you? And again, feel free to share. You don't have to if you don't want to. Finally, I like that. When you look in the mirror, if you look in the mirror, what comes up? What comes up for you? What do you see? Do you see the twinkle in your eye? Do you see the laugh lines around your mouth, your eyes? Do you see your beautiful hair, your presence? Or do you see the extra 5 pounds, the stress, the bags under your eyes? Be honest here, because that's what this is about, is being honest. And then we're going to turn this around, I promise you. When you're alone with yourself, do you find that you have to have music on, the TV, a distraction? Can you even be alone without any distraction and feel comfortable? And that's a big one for some people. Are you able to sit at a restaurant and eat, alone by yourself without staring at your phone? All right, if you bring a hardcover book and you're reading a book, but can you sit there? Can you walk into a restaurant and sit down and eat? First thing that comes up to your mind Okay, as I ask this question, I want you to put it in the comments. What is your favorite part about being you? What's your favorite part? Magnificence, I love that. Typically puffy eyes. Good things too. All right, good. You see your aura. That's good. All right. All right. Maybe if we think a little bit more on this, are you a good listener? Do you love nature, good music? Are you a Disney movie fan, but you just don't tell anybody or you don't share that with just anybody? I know somebody who loves dinosaurs, Lord of the Rings. I know someone else that plays a ton of Dungeons and Dragons. D&D is their thing. What do you love about yourself that makes you unique? Now, if you can't think of anything or you're too shy to share, it's okay. These questions are just for you. And there's no shame, there's no blame, there's no judgment. It's just to see where you're at. And if it feels like bragging, if it feels like talking about yourself is too much of yourself, if it feels like talking about yourself is too much of like an imposter, then there's some work that needs to be done. And that's okay. Because that's why we're all here. We're all here because we have things that we have to work on. And I don't mean just here on this call. I mean just here, right, in the world. If we were all perfect, and we all are imperfectly perfect. We're perfect for exactly who we are. But it's a matter of accepting and being okay with that and loving it. So we're going to go into this, but I definitely want to do our breathing. So make sure you get yourself comfortable. Shake out some of those things that just came up for you. And just be here in the moment with me. And if it's safe, I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to breathe in. And remember when you were just that innocent child. And when we're kids, we really like ourselves. We think we're so funny. We think we're cute. We're hysterical. Think back to those days when you were happy being you. And just breathe that in. Big, deep breath in. Just remember what that's like. Put your hands on your heart. And then just exhale. And this time, breathe in a time when you had on one of your favorite outfits or an outfit you thought looked really good. That might have been silly, right? Maybe when you were a kid, maybe as an adult. And just breathe that in, just at how fun that was. When you could have fun and you could laugh, just at who you are. Not laugh as in making fun of, but laugh at appreciating you. And then I want you to take another deep breath in. And if there's any resistance, any feeling of this is silly, this is ridiculous, I'm too old for this, I want you to exhale that out. Just blow it away like you would blow out a candle with force. Just blow it away. Just make it go away from you. We are all different. And that's what makes us special, right? Is that we are all different. I think I saw a comment come in. I love that I can pick up on accents and cadence as others speak and guess what country they're from, and regionally for some countries. There's times where I can say a name and Tarina can absolutely say it as if she's known the person forever, and I am fumbling at even the first syllable. So yes, Tarina, I would say that is definitely one of my favorite things about you. And have you ever done that? Have you ever gotten curious? Have you ever asked somebody, what is something about me that stands out that you like about me or that you think makes me unique? What's your favorite part about me? You know, it's okay to have other people share, and you get to share back, right? Let's exchange those. Getting curious is what helps us come to terms with who we are. And I don't mean come to terms with settling. I mean looking at who we are holistically as a person, good, bad, and different, and loving ourselves no matter what. And these are the kind of clients, people, women that I help. And what made me think about this topic was, again, those clients that I was helping in the last week. And there was one that said she just looks in the mirror and all she sees are her wrinkles. And what can she do to get rid of those? What can she do so that she doesn't look like that? And what we had a conversation about was, where did those lines come from? And I told her, make a face so that they're more pronounced, right? So when we smile, we can see the lines on our face. So if you have lines on your face as you're smiling and you're not smiling and you have those lines, where do you think those lines came from? Because you've lived a life where you smiled a lot. If we have a furrowed brow, right, and we have wrinkles, and I had a friend, and she used to do my hair, right? And the conversations we would have about how can I cover my forehead? These lines. Where did those lines come from? And every single line is a memory. It's what made me who I am. And when you think about that, is there anything that you would change about yourself? Is there anything that you would have given up experiencing? And yes, we've all gone through stuff, trauma, dysfunction. But if we didn't have that in our life, would we be the strong person that we are today? Maybe we're not the strong person. Maybe we need to understand how to become the strong person that's deep inside of us, that we were before the trauma. Because guess what? You're still in there. And that kid that used to dress up, the kid that used to think they were so funny and silly, they're still in there too. They're just all the stuff piled on top. And so we get into this habit of even looking at our quirks and even thinking negative about those. I can do 1,000 things and make a mess, but by the end of the day, everything is completely organized. And that drives people crazy. Some people that are close to me. Yet in my mind, I have a plan. And so it's one of those things where you go to clean out a drawer, you know, that drawer in the kitchen that just collects everything. And you go to clean that out. But then to do that, you have to put something away over here. But then you go over here and there's a mess. And so now you got to straighten that up. But then you go over here and you go in the bedroom and you do this. And then everything is a mess. By the end of the day, you pull it all back together. So do you have that ability? What's your quirk? Some people get distracted. Me. I can be having a conversation, and if a cardinal flies by, I am going to take the moment to acknowledge that cardinal, because that cardinal flew into my eyesight as a gift for me to acknowledge. At least in my mind, that's how I see it. And I certainly don't mean any disrespect to the person I may be talking to or I should be paying attention to. It's just something that grabbed me for a moment. And I'm still listening and I'm still paying attention. But God, take in that beauty for a moment. There are people that, we all have labels. Whether it's you're diagnosed with ADHD or depression or bipolar, addiction. If you really look at these things, there are ways to see the beauty in what it is. So we'll take an easy one and then we'll work our way up. ADHD. Oh boy. It takes a lot to get focused, but once we're focused, we can focus. There's a lot of passion, a lot of different things that we're passionate about. And when we're really passionate about something, we can dive in wholeheartedly. But it also makes us very well-rounded because we know a little bit or a lot about a lot of different things. Anyone remember, and I'm probably aging myself, but the Pauly Shore movie, right? Son-in-Law, where he says he did 1 semester with this and 2 semesters with that major and another semester with that major. And some people are quirky like that. Let's see. Oh, Tarina, thank you. Definitely helped me to catch negative self-talk. I'm proud to say that it has drastically reduced. Still work in progress, but I know I'm better. Yes, exactly. I will share that I used to not be able to be in a room by myself. I would have to have a distraction on, whether it was TV, whether it was music, but I could not sit in silence and do anything. I had to have something in the background. I could not sit and just enjoy the moment. And there's been a lot of work. There was a time where I would look in the mirror and I would only see the extra 5 pounds, 10 pounds, or the wrinkles, my face. And what changed was looking past the negative and finding the positive. So, when you're driving and there's that little bug that's on the windshield wiper, and we get distracted by that little bug and we focus on the bug. Okay, well, instead of focusing on the bug, focus on the landscape. Focus on what is outside of the window, the whole view. My God, it might be beautiful, the beautiful sky, the sunset, who knows, the clouds. But if you're going to focus on just that little bug, you're going to miss all of that. And so it's the same thing with you. What are you focusing on that you need to let go of because it's the negative that's blocking your view from all of the positive that is you, that everyone else sees in you, but you can't see it. So now I can sit and meditate, and I can even do it now without guided meditation or meditation music on. Matter of fact, the other day, huge milestone, I went into a sensory deprivation tank and just floated. I thought that I was going to have an anxiety attack, right? I thought there's a possibility, right? Because I'm going in, I'm going to be alone, and oh my gosh, what is going to happen? And I'm going to be in the dark, and I'm not going to be able to hear anything. And the water temperature is the same temperature as your body, so you can literally lose the sense of where your body ends and the water begins. And when I got in the tank and I sat down and I closed the door and I turned the light off and the music, it felt familiar. And that was probably the biggest surprise of the whole experience, is that it felt familiar and it felt calming and it felt really good to just be with myself and my thoughts. Now, it has taken a while to get here. It's taken a lot of accountability and coaching to get me here, because I had to work through the doubt, the anxiety, the worrying. What is all that doing? And learning to be in the moment and enjoying what that moment is bringing. So the client that I helped the other day, I told her, get up, go look in the mirror. And what is the favorite part about yourself? And we were able to get down to, she loves her smile. She loves her smile. And she loves the way that her eyes twinkle when she smiles. And so when you focus on the eyes and the twinkling and the smile, and you smile more, you're not looking at the lines. You don't even care. One of the things when my kids were growing up, and you know, us women, we all gain weight when we have kids. That's what we're growing a human inside of us. And then afterwards, a lot of us, not everybody, we don't want our picture taken because we've gained weight. But we gained weight because we had a baby and we grew a human, which in itself is miraculous, right? If we don't take pictures, if you're not taking pictures with your kids and your babies, when you go to look back and put those pictures in an album and you're not in them, your kids look back at them and they're like, but where's mom in all of this? And if you're not in those pictures because, well, I didn't look good in my bathing suit, or I didn't look good in that lighting, are you just stealing that memory and that experience from yourself? Or are you also taking that from your kids too? So what's more important? The line? Maybe the bump? The rumple? Right? What is it that's keeping you from really living your life and really celebrating who you are? Because you probably are that involved mom, or at least you want to be, if you can allow yourself to be in the moment, not worrying, not stressing. Because when we look back on our lives, are we going to remember those little moments, the love handle that was hanging out in the picture, or the shirt that didn't fit quite right? Are we going to remember the hugs and the loves and the experience and the fun? So don't steal that from yourself. And find what makes you, you. The quirkiness, the absolute authentic you. And guess what? If somebody else doesn't like it, that's on them. That's on them. Now, that doesn't mean that you have permission to just be moody all the time and say, that's what I love the most about myself is that I'm moody and I can be, I hope there's no kids around, bitchy all the time. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. What are the positives about you? So let's ask that question again. What is it that you love about yourself? And if you're still having a hard time, I'm going to give you a little exercise that you can do. And do it when we hang up. Do it before you go to bed tonight. Do it when you can. Have a rolling list. Now, when you get a notebook or a pad of paper and write down, and you can do it one of two ways or a bunch of ways. Write down the things that you've been able to achieve throughout your life. One of my favorites is I won the 50-yard dash in second grade. The girls' 50-yard dash. I didn't outrun the boys, but that's okay because I won the girls' 50-yard dash. And I didn't even think I was going to do that. I didn't plan, I didn't practice. I just ran, and boy, did I run. What are some of the other achievements, the things that you got to celebrate in your life? The things that you've created in your life that you look at and go, how did I do that? Write those down on a list. Now, some people will call this a brag book. Some people will call this, I call mine a list of manifestations. Because I know that there are certain things that I have no idea how it happened, like winning that 50-yard dash, but I manifested it and it happened. The home that I live in, I manifested this. I wanted it. I wanted this house. I wanted this property. We even lost it. And I manifested that it was going to be on the market again. And thanks to a friend, and I don't know if she's listening, but you know who you are, encouraged me to go after it. What have you manifested? What have you done? What are your brags? Because it is okay to brag about yourself. And you don't have to share it with anybody, but share it with yourself. And you know when the best time is to share it with yourself? When you're feeling crappy. When you're feeling like you are not important. Or when you feel like you're failing. When you feel you're unhappiest. Go grab that list. And then when you feel better, you can write that you followed your own directions and got yourself out of it. It's fun to remember the different things. It's fun to remember who you are and what makes you you. And frankly, we don't do it enough. But we certainly do doubt ourselves enough, a lot. And we feel like we're failing a lot. We definitely have negative self-talk a lot. So what I'm challenging you to do is to flip it and start focusing on the positives. There's always going to be something negative. Always. It's life. It's what I say all the time. There's always going to be chaos. There's always going to be change. But focus on the positives. So how do you flip it? Okay, so I can be distracted. You know what that else is? What else that is? That means that I'm very observant. And I can see the magic and stop and smell the roses. So I can take that, I can be distracted, and I can turn that into my positive. I'm like, I can go outside and sometimes I swear I'm like Snow White. There's birds, there's cardinals. The other day, a black snake crawled across my path, which actually is good luck and protection and good fortune. A dragonfly, a blue dragonfly, flew by my head, almost ran into me. These are things that I would have missed if I wasn't paying attention, if I wasn't being observant. So, what are some of the things that you can flip? Put something in the comment. I'll flip it for you. I promise I'll find the positive, because there is a positive in everything that we are, in everything that we do, and how we do it. It's hard to do when you're on your own because we don't always see what others see in us. And we get blindsided. We get home blind, not blindsided, but home blind. So no one can fully understand your flavor of trauma, your dysfunction that you were brought up with, how you really feel deep down inside. But what I can do is I can help you by being the unbiased guide and help you move forward and move through it. Help you lift and flip the negative, flip it over so that you can see the positive. And that's why coaching is so important. And I will say it now, and I will say it as much as I need to say it and remind everybody. Good coaches need coaches. Good coaches need good coaches. And friends and family, they're going to, oh, but no, everything is perfect. Everything is good. But sometimes that's not what you need to hear. Sometimes you have to hear what you need to hear from a coach, because family and friends are going to tell you what you want to hear. But a good coach is going to tell you what you need to hear. And that's exactly what I can help you with. But I can't do it if I don't know who you are and if you don't reach out. So I know there's a lot of you that watch. Thank you. Every week that you tune in, you watch the replays. I know that you're out there. And I also know that there's a bunch of you that are struggling. I can't chase you. I can't force you. It has to be when you're ready. But my question to you is, when is it going to be your time? When is it going to be the time that you want to make your life better? That you want to be able to look in the mirror and smile at yourself, wink at yourself. That you want to be that silly kid, let the little inner child out and just dance in the rain. Not take things so seriously and have fun in life. So it is the simple things. It's the simple things. Life does not have to be hard. We get to choose how we live our life, and we get to choose how we are in each moment. So thank you for being here. And if you haven't said it to yourself today, go and look in the mirror and tell yourself that you're grateful for who you are and that you love who you are becoming. Because just by being on here, you are taking a baby step and you're listening. And I hope to hear more from you. So remember, every day can be a good day, can be a bad day. It could be the same old day, and you can stay on that hamster wheel. But it's all up to you. You have the choice in every moment and every day. So choose wisely. And I will see you all next week with another really cool topic.